Ashe, Ashe, Ashe. And grand rising, a grand day to you all once again, my very beautiful people. And especially to you, my awakened and enlightened people the world over. Yes. You don't know that it is yours truly, I, the Mystic Philosopher. And as customary, along with some of my recorded chirping bird sounds and some of my rusty finger picking guitar just gently playing in the background. And I'm here to share with you some more of my unique and thought-provoking perspectives and insights. And yes, my people, it is high time for reason and for reasoning. And as customary, I might add, it is high time for thinking. Now, the title of my talk on this beautiful grand rising is this. It's in the form of a question. Listen carefully. Who or what can save us now? And who or what is gonna save us now? Us meaning we, all the inhabitants, us the inhabitants of this, our beautiful Mother Earth. Save us from what? Some of you may be asking. Save us from what? Mystic. Save us from what? And to answer that question, save us from what? And also as a preamble to this, my talk on this beautiful grand rising, September the 21st, 2022, I will play for you one of my messages in songs called One Step Closer. But before I even do that, please let me tell you how this topic came about. This topic, yes, who or what can save us now and who or what is going to save us now. Let me tell you how it came about. Well, it came about and what prompted me to be talking on it. It came about this grand rising after me, as customary, catching up with the international news. Yeah, it's my custom to do, to catch up with the international news. And of course, featuring the war between Ukraine and Russia and the proxy war between the United States, NATO, and Russia, along with the potential, if not inevitable, hot war between the United States and China over this Chinese island called Taiwan, etc. International news. And especially this grand rising after listening to statements made, statements that was pronounced, and messages that was directly or indirectly sent to the West by the Russian president, President Vladimir Putin, while calling up conscript, which he also called a partial military mobilization in preparation for a real war. Conscript or call up in preparation for real war. And above all, that which I, the Mystic Philosopher, perceived to be the cocky, overly confident and nonchalant responses from the NATO leaders, aka the Western governments, to this, that I, the Mystic Philosopher, think is the most dangerous development in all these wars and rumors of wars thus far. It's a very dangerous development. And also the questionable, if not intentional and deceptive narratives that are being broadcast by the Western media. You know, my late mom, she used to say, and I quote, fire there must steal. Or when fire there must steal, him think a cool breeze. In other words, my people, we are being led to and are literally standing on the precipice of total annihilation. Or to borrow another quote from the Adamic Race History and Holy Book, aka the Christian Holy Bible, and I quote this from 1 Thessalonians chapter 5 and verse 3. Let me bring it up, and I quote that even, this chapter, this quote even say it better. And I quote, while people are saying, listen carefully now, quote, while people are saying peace and safety, destruction will come upon them suddenly as labor pains on a pregnant woman, and they will not escape. That's from one version known as the New the New Living Translation. And I will read from another version, another translation, and I quote, same 1 Thessalonians chapter 5 and verse 3 from the Adamic Race History and Holy Book that is commonly known as the Christian Holy Bible. Quote, when people are saying everything is peaceful and secure, then disaster will fall on them as suddenly as a pregnant woman's labor pains begin, and there will be no escape, unquote. And that was from the New International Version. And now to answer the question, save us from what? And also as a preamble to this, my talk, I ask that you please listen very carefully to the truthics in this one of my messages in songs. And at the end, I am sure that for most of you, if not all of you, that question will be answered. And I will continue this, my talk. So please give me a moment. Let me see if I can tune this up, having to be working with, this here. Let me see now. Bring it up. Let's go. We are just one step closer. One step closer. A nuclear war disaster. Nuclear war disaster. When the world's superpowers will go to war with each other. Will there be any human survivors from this nuclear war? Winter. Cause when this world freezes over, it will be very cold, harsh and bitter. And whilst the poor and innocent people that always have to suffer for the greed and wickedness of these so-called world leaders, I do not know the real answer. But I only know they have put all our lives in great danger. You see, there's an ominous threat of mass destruction and human extinction. It's called nuclear weapons. Nuclear weapons. Some nuclear watchers and scientists say that it will only take 10 to 100 super bombs. 100 super bombs. End the world as we know it, and all life forms in their mass nuclear destruction. But among the approximately 196 nations, there are only 9 that are known to be in full possession. I have some 60 to 25,000 nuclear bombs. Yes, we are just one step closer. Nuclear war disaster. One step closer. When this world's superpowers will go to war with each other. Will it be NATO or America or vice versa that will start a war with Russia up there? Will it be North or South Korea
will restart the war on their peninsula. And why is the poor and innocent people that have to suffer for the greed and wickedness of the so-called world leaders?
Wickedness.
I do not know the real answer, but I know they have put all our lives in great danger. You see, the nuclear armed United Kingdom and France are now proclaiming to be good neighbors and best friends. Neighbors and best friends. But as their own recorded history has shown that not too long ago, it was not so. Because since they have warred and killed each other before, they could do it all over again.
As it was in the beginning,
so shall it be
in the end.
For we
Know how this story goes. When these good friends turn into foes, we are one step closer
to a nuclear war disaster. When this
world superpower will go to war with each other.
Will it be Japan or China
Tell me.
that will go to war with each other?
Think about it.
Or will it be Pakistan or India to be the first to pull that nuclear trigger? And what about all the others with the nuclear power?
Yes, name them.
That are there lurking undercover. Why the poor and innocent people have to suffer for the greed and wickedness of these so-called world leaders? I do not know the real answer, but I know they have put all our lives in great danger. You see, now India and Pakistan have fought at least 3 wars over their borders and land.
They say borders, and they fought at least 3 wars.
Today they tensely stare each other down with their nuclear bombs and trigger in hand. Bombs and trigger in hand. Then in the Middle East there is Israel and their bitter feud with Iran. But at least for now it seems to be Israel backed by the US that has the upper hand. For Iran has been forced to sign the treaty of non-proliferation. We are one step closer.
One step closer.
A nuclear war disaster.
Yes.
When this world superpower
Oh yes. We'll go to war with each other.
Will there be human survivors?
Tell me.
From this nuclear war winter. Cause when this world is over, the end will be very cold, harsh and bitter. And why the poor and innocent people will always have to suffer?
Tell me.
I don't know. For the greed and
Wickedness of these so-called world leaders. I do not know the real
answer.
I don't know.
But I know they have put all our lives in great danger. Yes, we are just one step closer to a nuclear war disaster.
Yes, my people, one step closer to a nuclear war disaster. You don't know, you don't hear it right here. Yes, my brethren. Let me see if I can get back this thing to a level of. Yes. So you hear the song. Let's answer the question. Yes. So by listening to this one of my songs, One Step Closer to a Nuclear War Disaster. I'm sure that you will all agree with me that the answer to the question, save us from what? Is save us from a thermonuclear war disaster. Full stop. And that's the thing that's there right now, my people. Here again, I will borrow another prophetic quote from the Adamic Race History and Holy Book, also known as the Christian Holy Bible. And this time according to the ancient prophet called Isaiah. And I quote, "The way of peace they do not know. There is no justice in their paths. They have turned them into crooked roads. No one who walks along them will know peace." Unquote. That is taken from the book called Isaiah, the prophet, and according to the book called Isaiah 59 and verse 8, and I just read from the New International Version. My people, the evidence is here by showing that we are not on the road to peace. We are not on the road to peace, but that they are leading us all on the road to a thermonuclear war, which by every definition is what? The road of death. And the next question that some of you, if not all of you, that are patient enough to listen to the song and patient enough to be listening to this talk thus far might ask, is this who are they that I, the Mystic Philosopher, am talking about? Who are they that the way, the scripture I just quote from the prophetic word, who are they that the way of peace they do not know? Who are they that do not know the way of peace? Who are they that there is no justice in their paths? Who are they that have turned them, the paths, into crooked roads? And so that no one who walks along them will know peace. Who are they? And the answer, my dear love people, is the so-called hegemonic leaders of the world. Yes, who did I say? The so-called hegemonic leaders of the world. And what do I mean by so-called and hegemonic leaders? I said so-called because from my perspective, they are not real and true leaders. To lead is to go in front of the person or of the group or the thing that you are leading or that you are claiming to lead. Whether it is on the battlefield, you are leading on the battlefield in a war, or whether you are leading in a race or elsewhere, just think about it. Lead means to be where? In front. In all reality, there is no such thing as leading from behind, leading from the sideline. There's no such thing in reality, or leading from some safe and secure place, or safe and secure space, as in a bunker, leading from a bunker, or some war room, etc., etc. There's no such thing in all reality. From the Mystic Philosopher's perspective, only a politician or other like-minded or other politically minded people would and will claim to do the impossible, to be leading from behind. People usually think. It's time for thinking. And thus a person or a thing that leads is always where? In front. A leadership is where? In front. A ship that is leading is where? In front. A person or thing that is leading is where? In front. Always in front of the thing or people that he or she leads. That's common sense. That's activated common sense at least. And the person or thing that goes in front of that which he or she leads is known as what? Is known as a leader or as the leader. A leader knows the real. Now, the next thing you should know is that a real leader, not sideline or back behind leader, so-called leader, or even hegemonic leader. A leader knows the real and practical dangers of war, and that he or she, because they are on the front line, because he's in front, he's always on the front line of the war, is most likely to do what? To be the first to perish in the war and in the fighting. And thus, a wise leader will do everything within his or her power to avoid a what? A war, to avoid fighting. Yes. A real and true leader knows and practice diplomacy over having to use his or her military. That most definitely will cause bloodshed and the loss of life every time. Because a real leader is not suicidal. Another thing to know is that a real leader is not suicidal. The truth be told, some if not all of those so-called leaders that are issuing threats to other countries and running up their mouths and beating their chests have themselves been personally and practically, have never been personally and practically involved in a real physical war in their lifetime. None of them has ever done it. A lot of these people ask them how many times they go before the battlefield, how many times they've been shot at, how many times they have been maimed, how many times they see people blow up beside them. Most of them, if not all of them, have never even heard a siren or had sirens go off, warning of an incoming missile or of some incoming missiles to destroy their community, to blow them up. Let alone have bombs, real bombs, drop in their city, killing thousands of innocent civilians or innocent people. None of them. They run them out, but ask them, they don't have that history. They have never been there. They're not leaders. They're hiders and drivers from behind. You don't go drive from behind. You don't lead from behind or from the side or so-called sidelines. And hegemonic simply means that the so-called leaders thinks and believe that they should dominate everybody else. That's what hegemonic means. They think and believe that they should be what? Dominating everybody else. They are back up. From the Mystic Philosopher's Perspective, all the so-called hegemonic leaders of the world today are either one of the following. They are mad. Yes. Meaning they are mentally deranged. They are mentally ill. They are out of sync with what? Reality. 2, they are psychopaths. Meaning what? They are affected by chronic mental disease. They are chronic mental disorder with abnormal or violent social behavior. Yes, number 3, they are demonic or demon possessed. Meaning they are Satanists, also known as worshippers of Satan, the devil. And thus they are influenced and controlled in every aspect of their lives by what? Alien and external spiritual forces or entities. Yes. Number 4, they are dumb, meaning plain stupid. Number 5, they are what? Suicidal. Yes, I do think that they are suicidal. Yes, they are suicidal. Meaning they are deeply unhappy with their own personal lives. Because if they were happy with their lives, they would want to live. And they wouldn't want to be dragging and sending other innocent people to their death. So they are not happy. You can't worship Satan and the devil and doing evil and be happy. No, they are devoid of happiness. Yes, man, with their own personal lives. They are deeply unhappy with their own personal lives. Their corruption and their wickedness, what? Have caught up with them or is catching up with them. Thus they are depressed and likely to commit suicide, aka they are likely to kill themselves. And as a consequence, they are likely to kill all of us. Yes, along with themselves, aka what is commonly known as what? Murder, suicide. Yes, that's what they do. Or else they wouldn't be behaving like that, people. Think about it. It is also number 6. It is quite possible that they are all of the aforementioned. All of them I said before. Fit them all. Because the evidence is hereby showing that every day and every night they, meaning the so-called hegemonic leaders, are bringing us closer to annihilation or to complete obliteration. By what? To a thermonuclear war disaster that I just sang about. And like the blind, leading the blind, and like sheep to the slaughter, the majority of us are to our death are follow. We are following them to our death. Faithfully, we are marching on to war. And sadly, the question is still unanswered. Yes, the question is still unanswered. Who or what can save us now, and who or what is gonna save us now? Us, meaning all of us, the inhabitants of the earth. Yes, my dear beloved people, who or what is gonna save us now? Now, please, if any of you, my watchers and our listeners, have or know the answer to this question, please share. If not, then may I say that if it is in this life, yes, and only on this side of reality, or on this side of reality only, we have hope in Messiah, meaning hope in peace, hope in equality, hope in equal rights, hope in justice, hope to live again, etc., etc., then we are both men and women. We are a people, a human race, most miserable. So, that's going to be it for today, for this Grand Rising. And in the meantime and between time, please hit that subscribe button along with the bell. Hit it right now and stay tuned for my next video upload. I just want to say thanks for watching and for listening, and I do hope that I was able to again provoke you to see and to think of things a little differently. Yes, my people, we are on the brink of total disaster. In the meantime and between time, please hold it up and not down. Be more and more and much, much more. For I am the Mystic Philosopher. Ashe, 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 I say.